everyone, I'm Rachel. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to create dramatic lighting on a portrait using the Color Therapy app. To create this dramatic portrait, pair a neon color with black as the background to really bring out the lighting. I'll show you how to create this glowing effect in a few easy steps. If you want to follow along, find this image under Popular. I want to start off by showing you this gorgeous example in the app from Jessica Bishop. So she focused on making the earrings in the portrait glowing so they look magical. Now the lighting from the earrings is shining on her face, so it's going to be brighter on the sides of her face, under her nose, and then on her lips, and mostly on her neck where the earrings are too. So the first thing to do is just tap to fill in the background as well as the hair with black. And I'm leaving the stars as they are. I want the stars in this to look like they're glow-in-the-dark stars in her hair. Over in the neon palette, choose the bright blue on the top row and tap to fill in the stars. You can also make some of them a more green turquoise, so I'm going to use that one on the second row, the sort of greenish turquoise color, and just tap to fill in a few, just for variation. So the easiest way to make an object look like it's glowing is to use the airbrush tool first. We're going to set that to the size at about 60 and the opacity at 35, and just zoom in to one of the stars using the same color. So I'm going to use a bright neon blue, and I'm going to make sure coloring inside the lines mode is set to off. Just using my finger, I'm going to create a little glow around it like that. I'll do the same thing for all the other objects. I can also use that greenish turquoise too for variation. Some of the stars make a little bit brighter. So to do that, add another layer around the object and just apply that to all the stars. And you can use these same steps to make anything look like it's glowing against a black background. Now set coloring inside the lines mode to on and then select black. Zoom in to one of the stars and then set the size at about 12% and then add a tiny bit of a shadow underneath each of the stars, just behind it. So this will help it make it look like it's popping out in a little more 3D. Now you don't have to do all of them, just a few will help out with the effect. And now select white and then raise the opacity to about 75. And in the middle of some of your stars, just draw a white glow and just apply that to some of them. You don't have to do that to all of them, just some of your brighter ones. Now set your size and opacity at 20%. Using that neon blue or green, and make sure coloring inside the lines mode is set to on. You want to add a little bit of hair in there by just tracing what's already there, just so we can see the hair glowing underneath the stars. So I'm just tracing those lines going up and down. That's very subtle. And then to further add detail to the hair, use the pen tool, set the size at 2% and opacity at 15, and just add in a few little strokes and strands of hair here and there. Again, just following in those template lines. Then I would also recommend using the smear tool. You can set the size at 50 and opacity at 100 and just blend them up and down a little bit just so that they can fade into the whole image. For the face and the neck, let's use a dark turquoise under the Dark Shades 2 palette set to solid. I'm going to use that first color on the second row and just tap to fill it in. And I'm filling in everything, the eyebrows and the eyelashes, lips, nose, ears. Go over to the airbrush tool. Set the size to 10 and opacity at 20. So now you want to work on adding layers of highlights and shadows to the face. So consider your light source. So I want my light source to be coming from the bottom right corner and shining up on her. So her face is going to be really bright underneath her chin, underneath her nose, bottom of her lips. Start off with black and just begin to contour the face. So I'm making the eyes really dark. It's helpful if you look at a reference to know where to add the shadows. For larger areas of the face and body, like the forehead and the shoulders and neck, raise the size to 80 and set the opacity at 10%. Continue working in layers, contouring the face with highlights and shadows. Then for your brightest highlight, you can use a white, and you'll use that on the tips of the cheekbones, bottom of the chin, lips, and part of the nose, as well as the neck and shoulders. Make sure to check out my other tutorials for detailed tips on how to contour a face. For a more magical touch, try using the splatter or glitter tool in a few areas, or apply the galaxy effect. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.